Hello, everyone. We're back with another episode, and I want to touch on something today that I feel like a lot of people are going through, and I specifically am definitely, and I feel like it's a good time to bring this just into the consciousness and understanding and how I navigate periods like this. And they are times that you might call, say, like a tower moment in your life. If you're familiar with that term, it's a tarot card. The tower is a tarot card. So whenever you pull the tower tarot card, it represents, on the card, it's basically like a building burning down and everything's flying out the window and everything is like kind of in essence collapsing. So you might think of it as a tarot card tower moment, or you might think of it as even say like a dark night of the soul. But when we go through these kind of bottoming out, and I think we're going through that right now. And my read on it collectively for those of us who are going through that is that there is a major leveling up that's happening on the planet right now vibrationally. And so anytime there's a major leveling up happening vibrationally, what cannot come with you to the next level vibrationally is anything that keeps you in a lowered vibratory state. And so that to me is always the essence of a tower moment or a dark night of the soul. It is ultimately the sort of last like darkness before the light really reveals itself. So to me, it's always actually like a good sign in a way. It's kind of a good omen, so to speak, because it is life. It is the highest vibrational forces of the universe. It is God saying, this can't come, this can't come, this isn't working, that's not going to come with you. This, it's like warding off basically anything that keeps you out of your most empowered self, your highest vibrational self, your most authentic self, your most, like true self, like any aspects of life, any ways that you exist in the world, any relationships, any dynamics, say work or environmental dynamics, otherwise, that keep you from just being in full power is what you meet up against in times like this. And it kind of feels like there's like an earthquake that happens in your life. That's why I like the tower card vision for this, because if you know the picture, you can Google it as I'm talking, the tower card in tarot. It's like it's like everything's coming down, everything is collapsing, and it's like total destruction. And we all go through periods like this, right? I mean, we probably go through many. I know I've definitely gone through many in my life, of course, the death of my mother being one of them. But also just in kind of like random seasons of life where it feels like everything is collapsing, nothing is making sense. What even like worked before is not working now. Even in terms of how you self-care or your gifts or what kind of keeps you going in hard times, friendships, relationships, romantic relationships, family dynamics. Like it's almost like it raises the question on everything. It's like a very fine-tuned double check of, is this working or not? And it looks at everything, right? It's like, it seems like everything comes up at once. And I definitely feel like I know 100% I'm going through that. I am working with many people who are feeling similarly. And also I just feel it in the collective in general. And I think it is because, again, we're being forced into the next level of human evolution. We're being forced into the next level of the collective vibration. And in order to get there, what cannot come is whatever keeps us in the lower vibrational energies. That's why I think also that there seems like there's a lot of sort of like demonic and satanic influence, say, infiltrating Hollywood. And there's a lot of kind of being revealed in human trafficking and the other kind of the lowest vibrational truths on the planet, I think, are being sort of filtered out right now, where people are actually having to look at the truths of the evil and darkness that pervades this planet. And it's not happening just because, right? It's happening again because the bottom underbelly has to be revealed in order to rise to the next level. So the underbelly of humanity right now is being revealed, and the underbelly of our own lives is being revealed. The parts of us where we facilitate our own diminishment, the parts of us where we contribute to our own disempowerment, the relationships and the relationship dynamics within us, within our lives, that may seem like they're all good and well. And then when you meet a hard time, you really get the test of, is this all good and well? And I mean, for me, absolutely, I'm going through that in like all of my kind of friendships. Some have been like absolutely fully very supportive of this. Others like are falling away. And the ones that I thought were like rock solid, But it takes times like this, right? It takes times where I like don't have it to give in many capacities, to test, you know, the strength of the friendship. Because to me, in any relationship, it is the hard times. It's the hard times that really determine the foundational strength of the relationship. And so if always, you know, you're in a good space and you usually don't, you know, I know myself as a very pretty low maintenance person in general, but also friend and otherwise. And so it takes a period where I'm like, not even, I don't ask for help. I mean, that's still like obviously something I'm facing currently now. But not that I'm even asking for help, but I just don't have the overflow like I normally have. And my friendships, I realize there are some of my friendships in my life who rely on my overflow, which says to me that there's not actually as even of an exchange as I thought there was, because I should be able to just be at baseline for it to still function highly, right? I shouldn't have to always be overflowing for this relationship to work. So it's checking all of the balances. It's checking all of the balances. I feel like life is doing that right now. And so if this is resonating with you and maybe you're not going through that right now, and if you're not, great, you know, it's not necessarily a fun time. But maybe you'll flip back and watch this video at some point in the future when you go through these, because we all do, you know. And again, as I say, whenever I go through this, I like, you know, I like get buckle up basically, because I know it's about to go down. But I also know that on the other side of this will be bigger dreams, bigger embodiment, more myself, more visibility, more power, more strength, more audacity. Because again, it just collapses and clears out the things that keep you from power, strength, higher vibrational energy, visibility, being seen, and audacity. It's like none of that can come with you, because it's time for you to step into the next level, and only the things that pass this test will be able to come with you. And in fact, you can't even get to the next level. You haven't gotten to the next level yet, because you needed to go through this first in order to filter out anything that would, you know, compromise you at the next level. So it's uncomfortable. It's extremely uncomfortable, you know, and it's easy in seasons like this to want to busy yourself or do more, kind of like overcompensate for what's happening, because it's so uncomfortable. And if you sit by yourself in silence, you just met with the depths of discomfort. And I really encourage you to sit with yourself in silence and be met in the depths of discomfort, because it is there that you realize how little you need. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons in seasons like this, is like so much is falling out that you're like, what's going to be left? Like, what's literally going to be left? And you realize how little you need to be left. Because as long as you have you and your mission and the core people who can survive the darkness with you, that's all you need. That's all you need. You know, I feel like many people even right now say are going up against their relationship to money. I know I'm in a bit of that myself. And again, it's like you have to sit in the like not having to realize how little you actually need. And it's not fun. This is not fun. It's not fun at all. It's frustrating. It's, you know, you're like a fish out of water. And also, bravo, because if you can even watch this and know what I'm talking about and be able to skillfully navigate these seasons, you are a master. You're a true master. Because most people, majority of people, let's be honest, wouldn't even know what I'm talking about, because they have these seasons, but they just go kind of unconscious, so to speak, in them. They, you know, drink or other vice, whatever, to kind of avoid having to be in them. And then the next level of people like know it's here and they're having a rough patch, but again, you know, cope essentially in ways that pull them out of it. And they abandon themselves in these seasons. And then the other cohort of us who are actually doing the work sit in them, right? This to me is like the ultimate fire of self-mastery. When you can sit in the seasons of discomfort and not escape, not avoid, not like tell yourself you need to be doing something else, but actually sit in the discomfort and the turmoil and the chaos and like just like that absolute not where you want to be space. That's exactly where you need to be. It's exactly where you need to be in these seasons and in any time where you're going through a challenge, because challenges only exist. You ever only attract in challenges so that they can reveal to you back to you, so that they can hold up the mirror to where you work against yourself or disempower yourself, or something in your life is working against you or disempowering you. Like challenges come in to lift you up. and we run from them and we want to avoid them and call them bad. But like, to me, like good and bad is quite subjective in life, because you can look back at all of the good and all of the bad, and they're equally necessary in your own personal evolution. So I invite you into that space, and I invite you to hold that truth within you right now if you're going through something, and or if you watch this at some point that you are, because this too shall pass. And this too is absolutely necessary, just as much as if I was saying this is the high for humanity, we're at like a peak experience and everybody's winning, right? Like, you're certainly not losing here. It might feel like you're losing everything. Everything's collapsing. Everything you thought you even knew about yourself is like dissolving, like almost like an identity crisis, right? Because again, it's life looking at like, this part of you is not working. It must go. This tendency, it's not working. It must go. This way that you've been your whole entire life has never worked for you. It must go. And so it's like, well, what's left of me even? What is left of my identity? How I even move in the world? Because then now you go out and you're like, no, you shouldn't be behaving like this, and you shouldn't be, invoking this tendency, and you shouldn't be doing that thing you've been doing your whole life that you know now officially for sure, absolutely 100% is not working. So you, on any sort of self like awareness level, are like, I know I can't, this would be a time here where I would step into that tendency. And I know that life is asking me not to. And you reprogram. This is like the ultimate reprogramming, because you're willing to look at yourself. You're willing to notice what's trying to dissolve out of your identity. You're willing to look at what's falling out of your life, and you just let go. You just let go. Trust that what can come with you to the next level absolutely will. And what cannot, and whatever you're fighting with right now, just let go. And if it's meant to remain, it will remain. If it's meant to evolve or transform, it will absolutely do that. And if it just simply can't come, then it simply can't come. And you don't have to even, make it a battle. Like the relationships that I'm going through right now that I can see are like maybe not going to make it. I don't need to battle. I don't need to battle. It doesn't have to be war, because I can see so clearly what's happening, that it's still so much love. It just feels like our paths are parting. And I think you can see things like that, like in all aspects. An end is not like this big bad battle. They have to be a bad guy. Like you have to throw dirt on their name because you're not as close as you once were. No, it's immature, frankly. What it is just, oh, okay, we journeyed together in this way for this time, and now our paths have separated. And still love for them. We just may not be on the same path anymore. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing even. It doesn't have to be bad at all. It's actually quite beautiful that we attract in people who can vibrate at our space and where we're at and on the journey that we're at for segments of time. And how amazing it is that with 8 billion people on the world, we call in this one specific person here and one specific person here who's able and willing to journey with us until they're not. And then they find other people to journey with, and so do you. So you have to also trust that whatever space is made in your life, in yourself, in your experience, the gaps will be filled either by you, either by more of you. Whatever is, taken from you that wasn't working is just going to be filled out by your audacity, your self-experience, or the relationships or the friendships or the people or the support or the business partnerships or whatever it is. They're waiting for you. They're literally waiting for you at the next vibrational level, at your next point of attraction. But you just have to get there first. So whatever you're going through, if you're watching this and this is resonating, or whenever you watch this and it resonates, know that this is absolutely necessary for your evolution and therefore the evolution of humanity. Because those of us who are evolving consciously in our own personal lives are leading the way for the evolution of humanity. We are facilitating the awakening of humanity through our own awakening. We are developing humanity spiritually by our own spiritual development. So know that this is so much bigger than you, as uncomfortable as it is, and as much as it just sits you into the depths of your own humanity, it's so much bigger than you. You are a leader, walking, blazing the path forward for everyone who exists on this planet right now, everyone who has ever existed on this planet, and every single person to come. So let it be like a part of the mission, as much as it feels like just you here and like, why is this happening to me? It's not happening to you at all, baby. It's not happening to you at all. It is happening for you. I can say that with absolute certainty, without a single doubt in my mind. It is not happening to you. It is happening for you and on behalf of humanity. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being willing. Know that I'm in this thing with you. And thank you all for loving me. Okay. Bye.